Lexington crews aim to clean up secondary roads before another night of record cold temperature sets in.
Thousands lose power in Woodford County during record-breaking cold.
Very cold outside. The next several hours will be knocking out some record temperatures. But now you got to look toward the weekend, too, as we have a big system on the way. Are we looking at all snow or just some snow? Well, I'll go over the latest forecast coming up.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at Noon.
Good afternoon to you from WKYT News on this day for the history books. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. A record day for cold here in the Bluegrass, with temperatures struggling to make it into the single digits this midday.
It got down to -8 in Lexington this morning, while Cynthiana dipped below 22 below zero. And those temperatures could get even worse by the end of the work week.
WKYT meteorologist Micah Harris begins our first alert severe weather coverage with a look at the frigid forecast, and it is frigid.
It is frigid. That's exactly right. We're at 4 degrees now in Frankfort, 6 there in Corbin. As you look across the way, still single digits around the region, and it looks like still some slick spots there on the roads. You just got to be watching out for it. Look at your wind chill still. I mean, it's -15 there in Richmond when we finished off this morning, right around -8 degrees, and that goes for Frankfort. We actually hit a record this morning at 9 below zero, and still those wind chills double digits below zero. By the afternoon, we're sitting in the single digits. That'll be another record, is our record low high as we hit the afternoon. The coldest high ever recorded for today is 19 degrees. We will absolutely blast that one, and we'll blast the one coming in overnight and into tomorrow morning, and I'll show you how low we go coming up.
Okay, those details shortly. Thank you.
Well, the snow has pushed out of the Bluegrass this midday. The main roads in Lexington are in pretty good shape, but many neighborhood streets still are not.
Still a struggle there. With a fresh round of snow yesterday, crews had to turn their attention back over to the primary roads, and that's left many of those side streets still covered in snow. WKYT's Whitney Wetzel is live now in Lexington with an update on the conditions. She continues our coverage of this Arctic blast here at noon. Whitney?
Well, we're just off of Old Todd's Road, and this is one of the secondary roads that city crews are working to treat. You can see for the most part it is pretty clear, but there is still some snow and slush left on the roadways. And if you take a look over here at one of the roads that actually goes into the neighborhood, there is still quite a bit of snow and ice covering quite a bit of it. Now, we went to the city salt barn this morning, and it had noticeably less salt than usual, but officials say an additional 1,250-ton shipment will be delivered today. They're also mixing a fine gravel into that salt to help with traction, since a lot of snow that's on the ground is now covered in a layer of ice thanks to these sub-zero temperatures, which, by the way, are also making it very difficult for road crews to deal with.
With the temperatures this cold, it makes it really hard on both the equipment and the people. You know, if a driver has to get out and clear a clog, you know, we really don't want them exposed to the elements for more than a couple minutes. 12-hour shifts can be pretty long.
Now, city road officials plan to hit as many of these secondary roads as possible while the sun's out, giving them some extra help, because, like Micah said, record cold temperatures will set in again tonight, so any of the snow that is still left on these roads will turn to ice yet again. Live in Lexington, Whitney Wetzel, WKYT.
Whitney, thank you. Now, we have a map showing Lexington roads and how the city prioritizes them for snow removal. That is on WKYT.com. Barb?
Electricity usage is going up across Kentucky during this Arctic blast, and that caused many people to wake up in the bitter cold and dark this morning. Nearly 2,000 power outages were reported in Versailles. WKYT's Mark Barber has reaction now from Woodford County.
The Woodford County Emergency Management Agency opened the Falling Springs Recreation Center here on Beasley Drive as a warming center, so the people affected by the power outages would have a place to escape the bitter cold. Some of the people who lost power say the outages could not have come at a worse time. Right as nearly 2,000 homes lost power this morning, we had record-breaking cold, with wind chills at 20 degrees below zero. Kentucky Utilities says the cold weather and high usage knocked out power. Crews say that the power overload happened around 6 a.m. when people started plugging things in. Power crews tell us the most important thing you can do to avoid overloading power in your neighborhood is to dress in layers when you wake up. They say neighborhoods run into trouble when people force their furnaces to do all the heavy lifting in order to warm up their home. Some people who are still trying to thaw out from this morning say they're ready to trade in old man winter for spring.
I am so ready. I don't think I'm going to complain this summer. I don't care how hot it is. I'm not going to complain. If I even start to complain, I'm just going to look at pictures I've took over the last couple of days of the snowstorm.
So at this point, it's just all about thinking warm thoughts?
Absolutely. Warm thoughts and staying warm.
At this time, crews have restored service to those without power. And for sales, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Mark, thank you. And that rec center will be open as a warming center all day.
We talk a lot about how vulnerable the homeless are to the cold, but so are the working poor, some of whom may have a home but no adequate heat source in the extreme cold conditions. WKYT's Rebecca Smith continues now our team coverage of the Arctic blast. Rebecca?
Today is what's known as No School Fun Day here at the Salvation Army shelter. It's a way to help parents get to work whose kids don't have to go to school, of course, because of today's extremely cold temperatures. Some family rooms are now available at the shelter. It was at capacity yesterday, but now has available room for not just the homeless, but also the working poor. They're oftentimes left out in the cold, literally, with a roof over their head, but regardless, no heat in their home. Major Deborah Ashcraft says a lot of times it's because they've had their hours at work cut back, or say they've been working 3 jobs and they lose one of them.
Even if you're not homeless, you have a home, but you don't have heat, please seek shelter. And sometimes I think we can rough it, and that's not good for us. These temperatures are very, very low, and this is a very dangerous time.
The Salvation Army is in need of help replenishing their supplies. They need things in particular like twin size sheets, also hats, gloves, scarves, things to keep you warm out in this bitter cold. In Lexington, Rebecca Smith, WKYT.
Rebecca, thank you very much. In addition to family rooms, the Salvation Army has 25 temporary mats and 8 sleeper chairs in their lounge. Now, they are open 24 hours a day at the intersection of West Main and Newtown Pike. Well, the cold wintry weather has forced the shutdown of the General Assembly, at least on one end of the Capitol. The House has canceled its meetings for the rest of the week, but the full Senate is scheduled to reconvene at the state capitol this afternoon. The House announcing, though, it will not be returning until Monday.
Well, cold is an understatement for the brutal weather that stretches now from the upper Midwest to the Northeast and the Deep South. Frigid, sub-zero temperatures are paralyzing millions, shutting down schools and causing hundreds of road accidents. Jamie Yuckas has details now from Minneapolis.
Bone-chilling temperatures are creating dangerous conditions across the upper Midwest. It was 35 below overnight in International Falls, Minnesota, and forecasters say an Arctic blast from Siberia will keep temperatures well below normal throughout the day.
These are the feels-like temperatures out the door. Many looking at 25 to 35 below zero, even at lunchtime.
Here in Minneapolis, it was 10 below when most people woke up. The high for the day is expected to be 10 degrees.
I really love the uniqueness it brings to the day. You never know if your car's going to start. You never know if something's going to break at your house from the cold.
With weather so cold, there is growing concern about frostbite and hypothermia. Schools in Chicago are closed today, the 4th weather-related closure this year. The deep freeze is also punishing millions of people in the Northeast and the South. There have been hundreds of road accidents, especially in areas where drivers are not accustomed to snow and ice.
It's crazy. First snow we get, and we got to deal with something like this.
But there are warmer days ahead. Forecasters say temperatures are expected to be milder throughout the weekend. Jamie Yuckas, CBS News, Minneapolis.
A concern over the cold even dips down into Florida, where citrus growers are using pumps and water to prepare for a potential freeze. Well, you can always track severe weather when you're away from your TV with WKYT.com and the WKYT First Alert Defender radar app for your iPad or smartphone. And be sure to help us track the snow as well. Send us your photos and videos using the hashtag WKYTRulesWinter.
And turning to other news here at midday, state police say slick roads were a factor in a crash that killed a central Kentucky woman. The crash on Kentucky 150 in Washington County killed 51-year-old Rhonda Yates of Danville. Police say her car was hit when another car crossed the center line. The other driver and his passenger have both been admitted to a hospital. Inspectors are looking into a fire that damaged a well-known Lexington restaurant before it can reopen. It broke out yesterday afternoon inside Columbia Steakhouse on Richmond Road. Crews were able to keep the fire contained to just a vent. And Louisville native Muhammad Ali is making a comeback, but not in the boxing ring.
It's still going to create a stir. The boxing legend has signed a brand partnership with athletic apparel company Under Armour. The first clothes collection debuts next month, featuring Ali quotes and imagery. Ali was hospitalized twice last month, around the same time that he celebrated his 73rd birthday.